So you go on The Bachelor, you have this incredible story with Peter. I mean, it's one of the most memorable Bachelor Nation stories, I think, in the history of the franchise. You stay true to yourself, and you really stick up for yourself when it came down to it. And you told him that it wasn't going to work out if he had been intimate with the other two women, and he had been. When that whole situation played out, with all these eyes on you, all the cameras there, like what was going through your head, and how do you process it nearly 2 years later?
That was probably one of the hardest, lowest, darkest, loneliest moments of my life. Like that week was torturous, honestly. Without being able to go into full detail of like everything that week really entailed, it was just torment. Like you're having these very deep loving feelings for this person while also at the same time knowing that they are physically exploring their relationship with another person or other people. And just for me to be able to wrap my mind around that, it was just like so hard because of, me choosing to save myself for marriage and how much physical intimacy meant to me and one day between me and my husband. That was something that week was really, really difficult. And to not have like my family or my friends or anyone to like talk to about it or just kind of go through it with me was extremely difficult. And in the midst of all that, having to be in a suite with the other girls and talking it through with them was just like, I mean, it was just torment. But I just, I told him, I was like, listen, I was honest with you at the beginning. And for me, it's not even, this ultimatum, you did this, so you don't get me now. It's rather, you know, this is something that's so important and beautiful to me that I expressed to you early on. And you told me, you wanted it to be me. And if you really did want that, then maybe there should have been some rethinking throughout this week. But I also had to understand like everyone doesn't value the same things the same way. And he was in other relationships. And so it was a difficult position, I think, for the both of us to be in. And I understood that. But at the same time, I had to stay true to myself and I had to keep my standards high and be unwilling to compromise in what I need and what I want in a relationship and ultimately in a marriage.
It was unfortunate that you had the last date of that week. As a fan of you and a fan of the show, I often think about, had you had the first date and you were able to sort of reiterate to him how important that was to you, would it have impacted his decision making, and maybe he wouldn't have been intimate with the other women to preserve your relationship? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I think after talking to him off the show, like when we were trying to figure out what we are and what we were going to do, I think that's something we both would have really liked to have the opportunity to had that first date. But I do believe, I think we both believe, everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason that it all worked out the way that it did. And so it's not something that we can really look back on and be like, dang it, like if I could go back, I would have, asked for this or wanted this or done this or, whatever. I think at the end of the day, it is what it is. And it all happened the way that it was supposed to. I do think that there probably would have been a little bit of a difference had I had the first date. But at the same time, I mean, that's a toss up game, right? Like we don't really know.
In your book, you write that forgiveness is the greatest demonstration of strength, which I think is so true. How are you able to ultimately forgive Peter and Barbara for what they put you through on national TV? Because they put you through the ringer, but you came out of it stronger than ever.
I think for me, one of the biggest things that I've learned through this whole process, that I've just learned in life in general, and that I actually try to encourage people, even with the whole idea of what it means to be made for this moment. Like, what does that look like? What does that really mean? And for me, in moments of pressure, in moments of when I felt attacked or when I felt hurt or when I felt pain, I think it was taking a step back and realizing like I'm a part of something so much bigger than me and it's really not about me. And so there's going to be moments where people are going to not see my value and my worth. There's going to be moments when people are going to put labels on me. There's going to be moments when people misunderstand me. There's going to be moments where people attack me or judge me. I can't control any of that. But what I can control is what I choose to believe about me and what I choose to give back and to do with my life. And if that's truly truly what I believe and truly what I say, like about life and about myself, then I have to act on that. And I have to live that out, even in the hardest moments when tens of millions of people are watching and I'm being attacked, my character and my faith and my convictions and beliefs are being attacked. And so there's a cost for every single one of us when we stay true to ourselves and when we stand firm in our beliefs, and people who don't understand it or who don't like it. And so for me, it was like, okay, but the cost is worth it because I get to walk in my purpose. I get to love other people and add value to other people. And I get to be a part of something bigger than myself.
Yeah. Now, I think everything you wrote in the book about Peter was fair. Have you reached out to him since the book came out, or do you know what he thinks about everything?
I have not. I have not talked to him since the book has come out. I don't know what is going on in his mind. I do know we were, on great terms, and I've wanted nothing but the best for him. And I've been, even in my own personal life, like his biggest prayer warrior and just someone who's just like hoping for him and praying for him and, hoping the best for him. And so I don't know how he receives it. And I hope that if he were to read it, that he would feel even encouraged, honestly, by the message. I don't speak a negative thing about him or even his family. Like, even in the moments where I felt, attacked or in whatever way, I still choose to see those moments as God has used those moments. And I've learned from those moments and grown from those moments. And so I don't look back at the experience at all or at my relationship at all and have anything but just a heart of gratitude.
Because people got to know you through The Bachelor, a lot of people are invested in your love life and your journey to finding love even after the show. How would you describe your current dating life today?
Single.
That's it. Just single.
Just single. And whenever it's the right time and the right guy, ready to mingle.
If Mr. Right happens to walk into your life tomorrow, what are the requirements? What are you looking for in a man right now?
I actually have this thing that I call my 3 C's and my 3 P's. And my 3 C's are the 3 things that I evaluate before I would ever consider dating someone. And then my 3 P's are the things that I evaluate in the relationship before I would ever consider marrying them. So my 3 C's are convictions, like what is his faith? What are his beliefs? What are his values? 2 is character, like what is his integrity like? How does he treat people? How does he love people? Is he a man of his word? And then 3rd is chemistry. Like, are we attracted to each other? Do we see this? Do we vibe? Like, you know what I'm saying? So those 3 things are really important to me. That has to be there before I would ever date anyone. And then the 3 P's are patterns. What are his patterns? What is he consistently doing every day? 2 is purpose. Do we have an aligned vision for our life? And then 3rd is peace. Do I have a peace about it? Do I feel like this is the man that I have prayed for and waited for and hoped for? So yeah, those are my 3 C's and 3 P's, and no one has crossed all of them off. So that's why we're still single.